Hi, hello friends, welcome. Hi, how are you all doing? My name is August. This is Cozy Rosie Reads. Today, I am so geeked. I'm so jazzed to do my first ever TBR announcement video using my freaking TBR jar. I'm so excited! I made this jar like a month ago or something, and it has, I don't even know how many prompts, but they are all prompts to help me choose my next read. I've expressed on here a few times how overwhelming my physical TBR has gotten for me. It's very difficult for me to choose what to read next, and I constantly am asking my partner to pick, or my sister to pick, or like anybody but myself, because so many of the books look amazing to me that I suffer from indecision, like severe indecision. So I created so many prompts to help me. Some of these are really easy prompts, some of these are really going to make me think, but what I like about having challenges or giving myself challenges rather than actually writing out a book in here. However, there is one prompt in here that is just one specific book that I have not forced myself to sit down and read. I'm hoping I don't pick that one. So all of the other ones, except for this one, are just prompts. And what I like about that is that because it makes me think, makes me kind of go over my physical TBR, but then I still have the freedom and the choice to choose out of those books that fit that prompt and that challenge, which one do I actually feel in the mood to read. Like right now, it's June. I am really looking forward to summery reads. I want to pick books that are going to make me feel good, that are a little bit lighter. They're not as dark, they're not as heavy, you know, the settings are maybe more summery, more romance, more light, more literary fiction, just something a little bit more whimsical. That's definitely the mood that I've been in lately. I just want whimsy in my life, and I have a lot of books that definitely fit that. So I am so excited to walk through this with you all and choose 10 prompts. So I've decided I'm going to choose 10. If I don't get through all of them, that is totally fine, but I am going to put them back on my TBR shelf to then be picked another time. I'm not going to push them for the next month's TBR. Maybe I'll create a prompt in here that's like read a book that you didn't finish from a past TBR or something like that. But just so you know the rules, I am picking 10 books. If I don't finish them, they go back on the shelves for me to wait until I pick it up again. So I'm so excited. I have no idea which ones I'm gonna pick, but I actually just remembered I do have some extra books in my TBR shelf that I need to go grab and put over here that didn't quite fit. And then I need to remove some of these knickknacks. So stand by. Voila! All right, there we go. So now we officially have all my TBR. So they span from this shelf, this bottom shelf to here, and then this stack. We have a lot to choose from, a huge wide variety of genres and authors. Let's dive in. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I think I'm just gonna pick one at a time. That's a little bit more fun for me. Let's do one at a time. Okay, the first book that I'm gonna be, and also I should say too, these are not going to be books I read in order of how I pick them, because I still am a mood reader, so I still want to choose how I'm feeling when I pick up my next book. But I have this one here. The first challenge, the first prompt is, it's just the letter U, or is that a V? Oh, nope. Oh, shoot. What is that? Yeah, that's a U. Okay, it's a U. My handwriting, what? That is definitely a U, because my V's are a little bit more like, so that is a U. Okay, so that means I need to pick a book that has a title that starts with the letter U. Do I have one that starts with the letter U though? I don't think I do. I do! Okay. This is The Universe of Us by Leav. This is a collection of poetry that I picked up really recently, and I found this in a little free library, and as soon as I picked it up, I was so close to just dropping everything I was reading at that time to read this, because this cover is stunning. Stunning, okay? So don't come at me. I know it says The Universe, but this is the only U book, and it is just Universe of Us. There's 2 U's in there. I think this definitely counts. I think we should, maybe now that we've had some experience with this jar and the prompts that it might give, maybe the word the just shouldn't count, because I'm not going to pick a book if it starts with T. If I get a T prompt, I'm not going to pick a book that starts with the. I think that would be unfair. So let's just make that a ubiquitous rule starting now. But yes, that's the first book, The Universe of Us, a collection of poetry. I am just so excited for this. It sounds so beautiful. So it's about love, relationships. I'm sure it will follow loss, but also seems like, just based on this cover, there's like that starry background behind her. I think it's gonna have a lot to do with space, constellations, the galaxy. Oh, I'm so excited. This is a perfect book for June. My heart is happy. That is the first one. Then I have a separate jar that at the end of this video I will put all of the used prompts back into, because there are so many in here. Once I finish this jar, I'm just gonna recycle them and continue to do this, because this is the way I should have been doing things. This works so well with my brain and how I think, and mixture of structure but also mood reading. Mwah, 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 perfection. So I'm gonna put this here for now. And let's move on to prompt number 2. Okay, give me something good. All right, got one here. Oh, this is a chunky one. We have, oh no. I hate my past self. Why did I do this? Most intimidating book. Most intimidating book. All right. I know exactly what one that is for me, and that is Moonglow by Michael Chabon. I don't know why this is an intimidating book. It has an interesting story. So I found this book over on Hoopla first as an audiobook, and I was like, oh, this sounds so interesting. I think I had it on my favorites list for like a year and just never got around to it, because the audiobook is quite long. This is quite a chunky book. I think the audiobook was like 20 hours or something like that. That just kind of makes me like, ugh. And then I found a copy, this copy of it, at Dollar Tree for $1. And I was like, oh my gosh, perfect. I've been looking for this book for a long time. This makes me so excited. I picked it up, and then it sat. I think I got this like a year and a half ago, maybe now, or 2 years ago, who knows? And I just, for some reason, it intimidates me, and I'm not quite sure why, but it just does. But it sounds like a beautiful story. Like, this is something that obviously I was interested in at first. I don't even remember what the plot is. Ooh, got a nice little moon there. That's so interesting. We already have some like space themes going on. Moonglow and The Universe of Us. Maybe it's just a little unintentional galaxy theme. Let's take a peek at this. Moonglow unfolds as the deathbed confession of a man the narrator refers to only as my grandfather, quote unquote. It is a tale of madness, of war and adventure, of sex and marriage and desire, of existential doubt and model rocketry, of the shining aspirations and demonic underpinnings of American technological accomplishment at mid-century, and above all, of the destructive impact and the creative power of keeping secrets and telling lies. My God, that was a lot. Definitely am feeling that this is most likely going to be like a literary fiction, a lot of character development, a lot of character relationships. So I am actually a little bit less intimidated now, kind of refreshing myself on the plot and what it's about. But yeah, this is my most intimidating book. I don't know why. Every time I would look at it, it would just kind of like make me squirm a little bit. I'm not exactly sure why, but it has. And I think that this has been on my shelves the longest for my physical TBR. So it's about dang time I give this a go and I give it a read. So that is Moonglow, the second book. Woohoo! All right, time for prompt number 3. This one is yet another letter, which is letter J. Okay, J. So a lot of these are going to be letters because I did the entire alphabet as individual prompts. So, J though. I do! Yes! Oh my gosh, this is so exciting! Jam on the Vine by LaShonda, Katrice, Barnett. Oh my gosh, yes. Look at this beautiful cover. I'm so excited. I got this book on Thrift Books maybe like a month and a half ago or something, and it has these beautiful deckled edges as well. This is a book that I found over on, I think, Goodreads. I was just casually looking up random books and trying to find something new, something to add that I could maybe read on my Kindle. But once I heard the plot of this book, I was like, I really want to own this book. This is a book that I feel like I could really fall in love with. It follows this young woman in, oh, what's the year? Yeah, 1919. And she is an African-American woman who really wants to start her own newspaper. She really wants to be a journalist and is never really given the opportunity to do so. This is also a sapphic book. She is in a relationship with a woman, and they decide together to create a Black-run newspaper that follows the Jim Crow South and the lynchings that are going on during that time in like the 1920s. And this just sounds so inspiring, so beautiful, so poetic, and like just such a powerful story. And I am just, oh my gosh, I am so excited for this. This is perfect. This is the only J book I have. And again, let's just appreciate that beautiful cover. I love it. June is gonna be poppin', you guys. June is gonna be great. I'm so excited. Okay, cool. All right. Oh my gosh, I'm just like admiring my little stack now. Okay, perfect. Wow, so far we really haven't had a prompt that's made me pull out multiple books. These have all been pretty easy. Let's really dig in here. Oh, I got one. Okay. Oh, I got two. Let's do this one. The fourth prompt is, ooh, graphic novel. Graphic novel. I actually only have one graphic novel right now that I own, so we're gonna go with that one, which is pretty, again, easy peasy, but that is The Harlem Hellfighters by Max Brooks, and it is illustrated by Cannon White. This is a graphic novel that follows 369th Infantry Regiment from World War I, and they are an African-American unit. So it definitely looks incredibly graphic, not just because it's a graphic novel, but like dirty and gruesome and bloody, and I mean, it's World War I, but I'm just so excited to read this, especially because it's following a black troop, so I'm sure it's going to talk about a lot more than just the war, but also about the discrimination, the racism, and the injustices done, even if you are a soldier. Hi, Winston. Are you helping me? This is a book that I found at a 25-cent library book sale, and it was such a good find. I rarely ever find used graphic novels that are like 25 cents. This was just such a good find. I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And because it's a graphic novel, I feel like I'm just gonna lose myself in this like entirely. I love graphic novels, so Harlem Hellfighters, number 4. Ooh, prompt number 5. Ooh, LGBTQ plus literature. Okay, this is, oh my gosh, I have so many I could choose from. Oh man, I have so many I could choose from. Okay, so I have Call Me By Your Name by Andre Osman, which I have not yet read, but I've been looking forward to reading for a while. Oh, I have Luna by Julie Ann Peters. Queer by William S. Burroughs. Ooh, Spinning Tropics by Aska Mochizuki. This wins. I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna put everything else back. I know I have more on here. I have Tin Man by Sarah Winman, and I think that's about it that I know of. I think I might have more books than that, but I just don't know the content. I'm gonna put these back because Spinning Tropics I have been yearning to read. I have been just wanting to read it so incredibly badly since I got it. Spinning Tropics. Okay, this is a book that I found at my local indie bookstore used. This was such an interesting find because I have never heard of this book. I just really love this cover. It is beautiful. And then when I looked up on Goodreads, there weren't a whole lot of ratings or readers. And then when I Googled the author, I don't know their race, I don't know their gender, I don't know where they come from. I literally couldn't find anything, even on Google, for this person. So I still have no idea, but it's Spinning Tropics. And this is about a female professor who falls in love with one of her female students. They're both their first time being in love with another woman, but then in comes this like man, and there's some conflicting kind of love triangle things. But it is set against the backdrop of Vietnam on the economic rise. This is a debut novel. Vividly brings to life the buzz of motorcycles and the tastes of Vietnamese coffee and spicy papaya salads, the confines of the Vietnamese family, the lingering effects of long wars, the rich who ride the economic wave, and the poor who are left behind. Oh, yes! This is definitely it. I am so excited to read this. It looks like we have characters from Tokyo, from Vietnam, and it takes place in Vietnam. I'm not sure the setting or like the year necessarily, but this was published in 2009. And it's also translated, I just found out, by Wayne P. Lammers. So I'm so excited for this book, Spinning Tropics. Okay, that is gonna be my next read. Oh my gosh, friends, this stack is so appealing to me. Yes! We still have 5 left. I think all of these are like really accessible so far. I'm not really dreading any of them. I'm feeling really confident, so let's hope we can keep that momentum going. I am pretty happy. Okay. Got one here. The 6th prompt is, ooh, newest release. I think I know one already. It came out in 2020. See, that's the thing is I don't buy new books. So I'm pretty sure the one that I'm thinking of that came out in 2020 is definitely the earliest because I don't buy new books and this was like such a crazy find. And that is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This is a book that Same with The Universe of Us by Leav. I found both of those books in little free library boxes while I was on a bike ride. And I found like 4 little free library boxes, and like goodness just kept coming out of them. This was found in the same box as The Universe of Us, which is amazing. Midnight Library by Matt Haig won the 2020 Goodreads Award, either for the best book of the year, maybe the best novel of the year. I'm not entirely sure, but it did come out in 2020. I have not read it. I've heard amazing things. I've heard some not so amazing things, but most people who read this book I feel like really, really love it. And I have also never read anything else by Matt Haig. So I am curious to read it. I almost felt guilty taking this book from a library book box though, because I never really was super interested in this book. That sounds awful. Like it never was on the top of my like want to read list. I knew it was super popular and I was like, okay, I've heard so many other people talk about this book, especially on BookTube. Like everyone was reading this. So I felt like I already knew the plot. I felt like I already knew a lot of people's thoughts about it. But when I was given the opportunity to take this for free from a library book box, I was like, I would like to experience this. So I am going to read this. So let's take a little peek at the synopsis if you're not familiar with this book. It reads, between life and death, there is a library. Hi again, Winston. Up until now, Nora Seed's life has been full of misery and regret. When she finds herself in the Midnight Library, she has a chance to make things right. The books in the Midnight Library enable Nora to live as if she had done things differently. Each one contains a different life, a possible world in which she made different choices that played out in an infinite number of ways, affecting everyone she knew as well as many people she never met. I've definitely heard that this book is sad, but also beautiful because Nora kind of wants to end her life. I think she does unalive herself at the beginning of this book, and that's when she's sent to the Midnight Library. So I am excited to read this. I am excited to see what the hype is about and just enjoy it for myself. I think I could enjoy this. So Midnight Library, prompt number 7? Let's do this one. Ooh, oh, okay. I gotta pull up my laptop for this one. Is random page number generator. So for this one, I have to just pick a number. I'm gonna guess my shortest book is probably like 100 pages. And between 100 and let's do 400. And from there, whatever the number lands on, I have to try and find a book in here that's page number is as close to that as possible. So this could either do me really dirty or not. It could be a pretty short book, but let's go ahead and get my laptop. Let's do this. That's nice. So I have my laptop here, and let's just go to random number generator, and let's put minimum at 100, and then we'll do maximum 400. Are we ready? Okay, let's hit the generate button together. Oh, 110. Bless. Bless you, laptop. Amazing. Okay, Winston's talking at the birds now, so if you hear that, I apologize. So I'm gonna start with looking at my smaller, shorter books and trying to find a book, if I can, that's 110 pages even. And we'll try and find a book that's like right around that sweet 110 number. I'm looking here at The Assignation by Joyce Carol Oates. Nope. That's 190. What about Aquamarine by Alice Hoffman? Oh, that's close. Oh, that's really close. This is 105. And the pages look like that. Like it is itty bitty. So that's pretty close. I'm gonna keep this one down here just in case that is it, because that might be the shortest book I own. Oh, okay, this is way over. This is 162. This tiny thing is 162. Okay, what else do we have that's super short? Nothing really down here. Passing by Nella Larsen. This looks pretty thin. Ooh, 114. So this is actually closer than 105. So I think this is it. This is going to be Passing by Nella Larsen. I know this is considered a classic, and it wasn't until this year that I actually ever heard of this book, which infuriates me. Why didn't I hear of it before this? Why wasn't it part of a reading curriculum in high school or university? Like, I don't understand. That just kind of blows my mind. So I'm really excited to read this. I love this cover yet again. And my friend was getting rid of this during our little free library book tour that I did in one of my vlogs, which I'll link down below for you all. And she was getting rid of this and I snagged it so fast. I was like, no, I really would like to read this. And 114 pages, wow, I really can't believe that. So it reads on the back, Claire Kendry leads a dangerous life. Fair, elegant, and ambitious, she is married to a white man unaware of her African-American heritage and has severed all ties of her past. Claire's childhood friend, Irene Redfield, just as light-skinned, has chosen to remain within the African-American community, but refuses to acknowledge the racism that continues to constrict her family's happiness. A chance encounter forces both women to confront the lies they have told others and the secret fears they have buried within themselves. I am so excited for this book. This is going to be such an eye-opener because, again, I have never read it, and I'm just really looking forward to this one. So yeah, that is pick number 7 for this wonderful pile we have. This is for pick number 8 now. Let's really kind of dig in there and grab one. Ooh, oh, this is a good one. A book you think will make you laugh. Ooh, make me laugh. I don't typically pick up books that I think will make me laugh. I feel like a lot of my books are dark, typically. Oh, you know what? I don't know if this will be in the laughs as in, like, it's intentionally trying to make me laugh, but it might just be because I am not a romance person. But sometimes I just really enjoy, like, light reading, and I think if it's cheesy, I'll laugh, but if the dialogue is actually funny, I'll laugh too. And that is 7 Days of You by Cecilia Vinesse. This is, I really do like this cover. I love the pink colors, and I have been honestly really wanting to read this for a while. I picked this up from Dollar Tree, so again, brand new book for $1. Probably in the winter time before I started my booktube channel. I don't know what it is, like floppy paperbacks are my bish. Oh, they're so nice. I don't know. I feel like this is a book that I'll either find really cringy but still enjoyable, or that I might actually really like. I don't know. But I feel like no matter what, I'll probably have a giggle, even if it is corny and cheesy. Like, I honestly sometimes really like corny cheesy. But it has to be done tastefully, right? Like, I have some corny cheesy where the author just kind of takes itself too seriously and the book takes itself too seriously that I'm like, ugh, this is uncomfortable. But I feel like this is a book that, just even based on the cover, like, it's just kind of cutesy, and it takes place in Tokyo, which I love. I love settings in Japan. On the back it reads, Sophia has 7 days left in Tokyo before she moves back to the States with her family. 7 days to say goodbye to the city, her wild best friend, and the boy she has harbored a crush on for the past 4 years. 7 perfect days, that is, until Jamie Foster Collins moves back to Japan and ruins everything. Sophia and Jamie have a history of heartbreak, and the last thing Sophia wants is for him to steal her leaving thunder with his stupid arriving thunder. Yet as the week counts down, Sophia is forced to admit she may have misjudged Jamie. But can their 7 short days of Tokyo adventures end anything but goodbye? A funny, and heartfelt debut novel filled with first kisses and second chances. Oh, it sounds so summery, so cute. I am actually really looking forward to this one. And it says it's a funny, and I did think it would make me laugh in some way. Hopefully it makes me laugh because of the writing and the dialogue. But yeah, this is gonna be my 8th pick. Then we have the 9th pick, second to last. Here we go, got a prompt. And it reads, ooh, book set in space or has space elements. And we already have several of those. Okay, book set in space or has space elements. Oh, that's good, that's good, that's good. Map of Salt and Stars, that has stars. That's kind of spacey. I feel like I have one that would fit that a little bit better. Mercury in retrograde, that's not even really about space. What about this one? Gut Symmetries by Jeanette Winterson. Oh, okay, here we go. I got it. Okay. Aboard the QE2 and under the stars, 3 lives converge. 2 physicists, Jove a married man and Alice a single woman, meet and commence an affair, only for Alice to fall in love with Jove's wife, Stella, a poet. Oh. Winterson captures all 3 sides of this triangle of desire and the rich history that has brought them together, encompassing ideas that reach from the Greeks to the grand unified theories of modern physics. Winterson incorporates the entire universe from Liverpool to New York, from quarks to cosmos, in a novel of sex and the spirit, the real and the fantastic, male and female, science and religion, and love in all its frailty and excess. This is a book that I got along with Spinning Tropics at my local indie bookstore used, and they both just spoke to me on this level of like, oh my gosh, these are books that if I had the mental bandwidth to read these books all the time, like this is my favorite genre. I feel like. Hopefully when I read them they don't disappoint, where it's like literary fiction, magical realism, elements of like atmosphere and science and physics and math and like all these things that I really enjoy. And this is perfect because it is, I think it takes place like on a starship or the QE2, whatever that is. I have no idea. But this just sounds so interesting, so intriguing. Got Symmetries by Jeanette Winterson. Yes! I'm reading so many books that I really wanted to read, but they actually fit frickin' prompts. This is great. This is great. Okay, the last book, friends. I don't want to do this. I don't want it to be the last one. The last book we have here is the last challenge prompt. Ooh, random color generator. Oh, that's fun. Okay, so then I just have to go on my laptop again and spin a little wheel for a color. Whatever color it lands on, that is the color of the cover of the book I must read. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Okay, let's do it. Random color generator. Randomcolor.com. Oh! We got this beautiful like green color. Oh. Okay, this one's really hard for me. This one's really hard because I actually have several that I would really, really like to read. First one is Annihilation. I mean, that green color is pretty similar. My friend loaned me this book and she said I would really, really like it, and I totally believe her, and I think I would really enjoy this one. So this is pretty top on the list of a book that I would really like to read. But then we also have Mother Lunge by Kirsten Scott that I really would like to read as well. This is another book that I was kind of saving for summertime anyway. That greeny color is pretty similar. Oh, I really wanted to read this summer. You know what? I'm gonna do Annihilation. There we go. I think I'm gonna do Annihilation. I don't know. This one's just speaking to me. I think it's gonna be a little bit more different than some of these books that are a little bit more literary fiction and character development. I feel like this is gonna be a book that's gonna be a little bit more sci-fi, maybe a little bit more plot driven, a little bit more excitement in terms of like what's actually happening in the story. So it reads on the back, Area X has been cut off from the rest of the world for decades. Nature has reclaimed the last vestiges of human civilization. The first expedition returned with reports of a pristine, Edenic landscape. The second expedition ended in mass suicide. The third in a hail of gunfire as its members turned on one another. The members of the 11th expedition returned as shadows of their former selves, and within weeks all had died of cancer. Ooh, this is the first volume of the Southern Reach trilogy, which I've heard a lot of people talk about. A lot of people really like this trilogy, and I'm so excited. Oh, why did I think that was falling for a second? My brain just did a really weird thing. I know a lot of people have talked about the Southern Reach trilogy and really enjoy it, so I'm super geeked to read this one, and is Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. Oh my gosh, there we have it, friends. This is my stack, my beautiful stack. I am so beyond thrilled and happy right now. Like, this could not have turned out any better. Like, even though my most intimidating read is on here, I feel like the rest of this has completely like evened it out. And I just feel like genuine excitement to read these books and to enjoy them. We've got some fun colors. We have a really wide variety of narrators and perspectives and stories in here and genres. Oh, I love this stack so much. I am geeked. I am thoroughly geeked. Thank you all so incredibly much for being here with me, for joining for this process. I would love to hear your thoughts if you enjoyed this TBR challenge game. I am so excited to do it all again in July. I know I just did this and I still have to read these, but I'm excited to do it all over again in July. I really like the challenge and the prompts and finding books that match it and getting really creative with it. I'm so excited! Thank you all so incredibly much for being here, for watching and supporting and being so lovely and kind. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, and I'm so excited to see you all again very soon in my next video. Stay cozy, my friends! Bye!